So I mean, it's different, like without the crowd, all these guys, when you talk about international cricket, and especially in a place like England, you very rare see, when you talk about Zimbabwe, when you talk about even in South Africa from last 10 years, or in Sri Lanka, there's no spectators. It's like a Ranji Trophy game there at times when it comes to Test cricket. Doesn't matter if Tendulkar is playing or Dhoni is playing or Arjuna Ranatunga is playing, which is the sad part. But when you talk about places like England, India, and when you talk about England, so whenever England plays, it's always there are, if not 100% even in test matches, but when you talk about 30-40%, there are people on it. So it's very different. And without using your spat, like no saliva, so it has been a big thing for bowlers, to get used to it. It will take some time. Maybe initially days, yes, when 1 or 2 test matches, you will have this conversation. Now, but if let's say England, West Indies playing in test match number 3, then there's no point. We know what it is. But still, it's early days. Even when any new series will start, either it's England, Australia, or either it's Pakistan, South Africa, or either it's India, Australia. Whenever there's a new series, you will discuss. But we have seen it's affected bowlers. I mean, all the teams have not scored 400-500 runs because it's both the teams were a little rusty. And I would say bowling, when you talk about batting, both the teams is a little bit vulnerable compared to bowling. So they have a better bowling unit than batting unit. And you're talking about Duke's ball. Doesn't matter saliva, no saliva, sweat, no sweat. Duke's ball still does something. And when you talk about playing in England, but going forward, I think it will be a little bit difficult for bowlers. Doesn't matter how much you got used to it. It's like playing with a wet ball or with the dew. Doesn't matter how much you practice in the net, but when you bowl with wet ball as a finger spinner or as a seamer, when you play day-night games in Dhaka, in Delhi in winter, or you play in Calcutta, so there's always dew. So you will get used to it. But like if I give you an example, somebody like Jimmy Anderson, according to me, he was looking half the bowler because he couldn't bowl ball up. He can't pitch up because ball was not moving. He was bowling back of land, and he is not somebody like Stuart Broad or Mark Wood or Jofra Archer, who is still quick bowlers. Jimmy Anderson is a swing bowler right now, and he's 37, 38. Not easy for him to bowl quick anymore because in his mind he knows he has to bowl long spells. So his strength has been swing, and which was not there. So imagine if it wasn't there in England with Duke's ball.
Right.
The road can be difficult for bowlers when it comes to in Australia or South Africa with Kookaburra ball. Yes, we can. There's no doubt about it. But it's a little bit more difficult compared to England. See, first thing, I'm no doctor, but whatever I hear, England, England was bad in the month of April and May. So now that time has passed. They are saying unless the second wave comes, and their population is less. And when you talk about hosting an IPL in India, it will always be a bigger challenge because here, see, first of all, it's a bilateral series. There are only 2 teams. And you have chose those 2 grounds. They have hotel at the ground, Southampton as well as Manchester. Here there is no ground in India where there are hotels. And you are talking about an event like IPL, or let's say earlier we were talks about T20 World Cup in Australia. That will be difficult for any country, not only India or not only Australia. No, see, here we are discussing about IPL, and imagine if IPL starts in October, then I'm hoping, again, I'm no doctor. I heard second wave comes and sometimes, you feel it's good and then it's not good. So it's very up and down. So we don't know about all these things, that what will be the corona's status that time. So it all depends that how country is reacting when you talk about India, when you talk about domestic cricket. Once if IPL happens, then I'm hoping then something like domestic cricket will be even easier if things are right. But if everything is going well, which we all hoping for, then definitely why not domestic cricket? Anyways, last year, if I'm not wrong, started 4-day cricket from 5th or 6th of November. So if everything is good, definitely domestic cricket can happen. It will be a tricky one, but it will be very challenging. Players will be rusty because they are out of the game from last 3-4 months, and by the time it starts, we're talking about 2 months. So. And everybody doesn't have the infrastructure, and every state has reacted. When you talk about India, every state has reacted to this corona differently. We have seen Bombay, Delhi, and busy places like Tamil Nadu struck more. They were struggling more. So it will be difficult. Even if you talk to me about the test match England West Indies, here you're talking about 2 international teams, all the facilities, and here you're talking about playing in England with all the facilities. Still, they were looking rusty. they were not looking top of their game. The
Correct.
more they will play, they will get better. So similarly, it will be very difficult for domestic players also. In international cricket, you still say you are an international player. You should know how to adapt the conditions, how to adapt the situation. This is international cricket. But when you talk about domestic cricket, of course, its level is not still the same. That's why domestic cricket, when you do well, you play for India. And domestic cricket is when you talk about so many teams, every team, there are 15 to 25 players playing a season. Here you're talking about 5 international players from one country. So there's a difference of chalk and cheese. So it will be difficult for domestic players also, but I hope they get enough time, to practice. And so, but see, good thing with the 4-day cricket is when you talk about domestic cricket, you still have 7-8 games. Imagine if suddenly you are going in a T20 World Cup, then it would have been even tougher than a 4-day cricket, because T20 you don't have that much time to recover if things are not going your way, or if you are rusty. Here you will have time. If one Ranji Trophy game doesn't go well for XYZ, you still have next game. So you in 4-day cricket, 5-day cricket, you always have time to recover, and T20 you don't. Yeah, see, this is one of the suggestions, and there's no harm trying something like that. But first, you have to see, are we okay to do that? If XYZ feels, or BCCI, when you talk about BCCI, feels that we cannot do that. Delhi is going to Tamil Nadu, or Tamil Nadu is coming to Haryana. Let's start the olden way. But we can do that, then definitely why not? We should go for it. Something is always better than nothing. Like, there are no spectators in West Indies, England playing, but at least there's a test match happening. And we hope, environment is secure and it goes well. So that can be an idea. There's no doubt about it. It will be interesting to see, and I'm hoping that there will be some cricket before that. If something like IPL happens, which is not easy to host, like earlier we were discussing, because so many teams, foreign players traveling, and no ground with hotels and all that, like in England. So it will be difficult. But if some cricket happens, then because there are still some nerves when you talk about India playing with large crowds, and even in Australia, but now there will be no spectators. So IPL, either is IPL or is Test cricket, but even if there are no spectators, for players, still it's a good series now. If you see India-Australia rivalry, like Border Gavaskar, when you talk about, now people are looking these kind of series, right? But one thing is for sure, this will be for India. It will be. That's what I feel. I might be wrong, and I'm hoping I'll be wrong. It will be a little bit more challenging series for India. Now, I'm not only saying because David Warner is back or Stephen Smith is back, because the way Australia has been playing, in last 1 year, because Justin Langer took over, and then Justin Langer also, when initially was coach, it was not easy for him. They were in rebuilding process phase, and that whole saga happened in 2018 in South Africa. So it was difficult for Australia. And India made full use of it. There's no doubt. Mentally Australia was down, but this time now with a settled team, much settled team compared to before, much settled coach. It's not that the coaches earlier were not good, but Justin Langer, we all know he's a little bit of taskmaster or a tough principal, you can say, which maybe needed that time. So it took him also 1 year, 18 months to lift that team. I remember team losing in England one day series 5-0. And now same team retaining the Ashes, and now even when they were nobody was counting in an event like World Cup, still they didn't play that well, but still they played World Cup semi-finals. So they know how to win. So it will not be easy for India compared to last time. But I'm not saying that India can't beat Australia again. Definitely we can beat them. No, I'm too soft. Maybe physically I had too many injuries. But mentally I wasn't that soft, and you just said that you don't give too much gali. So everybody has different way of showing their aggression. VVS Lakshman, I don't think so swear at anyone. Not Rahul Dravid. Not Srinath, not Malik. Have you ever seen Sachin Tendulkar fighting with anyone? So MS Dhoni. And I'm sure there are so many other cricketers also earlier. So everybody has a different way of showing emotions or showing aggression. So aggression is not all about swearing or just getting involved in any kind of fight. Aggression is all about performing in tough conditions. And all these people, I am the wrong example. I'm nowhere close to these guys. Somebody Lakshman, Rahul Dravid, or Sachin, or Kumble, Srinath. Anil Kumble was still a little more aggressive. Or Anil Kumble, I would say, was. I've not seen too many spinners who as aggressive. And contrast is Muthari Muralidharan. But he has also performed. So everyone is different. Like when we often talk about Virat Kohli, you know that how much hard work he puts on the field. But see, now Virat is doing well, so everybody is following him. So maybe that thing is working for Virat. But Cheteshwar Pujara cannot be like that, or Ajinkya Rahane cannot be like that. See, Ravindra Jadeja doesn't react much. He doesn't fight with anyone. But look at his fielding on the ground. So everyone is different. But maybe Virat shows his emotions more, and now he's doing well. So everybody's saying, "Oh, this is the way." You know, when things are not going well, then some people they say, "Oh, Virat Kohli misbehaves." I said, that's his way of expressing himself. As long as he is in the boundaries of ICC, then it's fine. Let him do whatever he wants. Banter is good. Virat Kohli was not somebody like Steven Smith, I would say. You know, when Steven Smith earlier came, when you talk about Test cricket, there were so many people must be thinking that, oh, this guy will not survive in Test cricket, right? The way he used to bat. Now, look at Steven Smith where he is, and Virat Kohli in 2000, even 9-10, you know, he was scoring runs and he was winning games. I still remember series against Sri Lanka where he scored 100. One game in South Africa, one-day game. You know, in 10 years back at the age of 21, 22, he won 1 or 2 games single-handedly. So you could see. Even Rohit Sharma, you know, I remember in 2009-10 when we were playing together, sometimes Rohit was having a up and down series or up and down season. I remember 2010 World Cup in West Indies T20 World Cup. Rohit Sharma was not that good, biggest success, but I personally felt that he was a great talent. And similarly, I feel the same way if handled properly is Rishabh Pant, you know, or I've seen Shubman Gill back. So these are few, Prithvi Shaw. It's all about, you know, you have to handle them well and then their desires. Virat Kohli was always somebody who always wanted to do more, always wanted to learn, and his desire. You know, when you talk about him and Rohit Sharma, Rohit and him, when it comes to skills, Virat himself says at times that Rohit has more skills than me. But see, when it comes to one-day cricket, they are neck to neck. T20 Test cricket, again, I still feel that Rohit Sharma still didn't get the number. You know, sometimes you don't get a batting number. Rohit Sharma sometimes opening, sometimes 3, sometimes 5, 6. So he was not settled. Rohit Sharma again could have handled better. When it comes to playing Test cricket, you know, he could have got more fair chances and more batting earlier. I mean, it was difficult to get into the team also. It's not easy. And maybe Virat Kohli has little more desire than Rohit Sharma when it comes to Test. But you know, even when we all discuss about Rohit Sharma's Test career, that he has not done that well, still he is carrying a average of 45, 46. So he can do well still, I'm sure, in the next few years. So Virat Kohli's mind was always Vijay very good. You know, he always wanted to do more, and then he has taken his game to a different level. Fitness, and see, I always say this thing. At times, maybe people might not be agreeing to me that we discuss Virat Kohli's fitness, but it's not that other people they don't do it. Now, when Virat has become successful, then we look at. I mean, you have done journalism for like so many years. Remember Mohammad Azharuddin? How was he as a fit guy? When you talk about fielding, I played my first Test match under Mohammad Azharuddin. You know, like people say that fielding has gone a long way in 20 years, for sure. But Mohammad Azharuddin, even in 1985, 1990, he was a rocket fielder. Doesn't matter how far fielding has gone. But look at Jonty Rhodes in 1992. When you talk about Kapil Dev, you know, so it's not that they were not good fielders earlier. Maybe the numbers weren't that many. See, I mean, again, I might be maybe not the right guy to answer this, because I always had good relationship with anyone, not with media, because in my head I am always like, I will do what I can do and what's in my hand. You know, like you know, when you're young, especially when you're anything between 20 to 23, 25, 26, sometimes you don't like it when what media people are saying or what commentators are saying. But when you're playing, I think you should move forward and you should do what you can do, because see, media's job is there to write. So let them write. So you should take it, even your criticism, in a positive way. You know, sometimes as a player, you have experienced so many, not, I would say, nice thing when it comes to media, you know, when it comes to print media or electronic media. Not that I have switched on my TV in last 10, 12 years when it comes to news. But it can be a healthy relationship. There's no doubt about it. It's always in your head. You know, you should not look at the positive, negatives. You should always look at the positives and keep moving forward. See, that's media's job. Sometimes you might see when you're doing well and media is writing good things and putting your picture on the front page, then you like it also. Like you liked it or not, 99.9% sports person or any XYZ that time jumping in his room, oh, like I'm doing well, so everybody's praising me. So you be ready also when you're not doing well. See, everyone is different. It's not. It shouldn't like it has to be that you XYZ has to be there. You like it and you are okay doing it. That's why people doing it. Some people they're not okay doing it and maybe they are not that much into it. I will not use the word they don't like it. So if they are not that much into it, then they'll keep themselves away. But there's no harm when you give your opinion or give your point of view on social media. But social media has also become that kind of a place you should be very, very careful also. Because when you talk about a sports person, let's say Sachin Tendulkar saying something, or Harbhajan Singh saying something, or Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, Rohit Sharma, anybody, when you are playing, so you should always look at, or you should always think about it, what you are saying on social media before you write it. Especially this kind of atmosphere, which it comes to that you should always look to write positive things. Is glass half full or half empty? You cannot be always like glass half empty. Yeah, but you raise, I'm not saying, it doesn't mean that you feel something which is genuinely going wrong and still you want to say something and you are not saying. That's not right. If you feel that something is good for the country or something is good for the state, you should definitely be able to say it. I would like the world to be, when you are not even having these conversations. Like somebody saying Black Lives Matter. Do we need to say this? Do we need to write on our t-shirt? It shouldn't be a point of discussion. But unfortunately, it has been over the years, or not only, positive way. If I'm saying again, like we were discussing earlier, that everybody should know these should be the things, like you don't need to say it. But it's very sad that we are discussing right now all this. So first thing first, we need to educate more and more people. I'm not saying that I'm educated, because I was very bad with this school. Barely I did manage to graduate. But you have to create awareness on these kind of things. Mm-hmm. So in somehow social media is good also to create awareness of the last few years when you talk about it. Again, you cannot say that social media is completely rubbish and there are always bad things, and some people they call it anti-social media also, anti-social, like 4 people sitting and talking and then suddenly all 4 of them they are on their phone doing Instagram or Facebook, Twitter. I have seen that kind of incidents also, but you use it well, then it can be good for the world. I think they're completely wrong comparison, Vijay. You cannot compare with a guy playing in 2000 with somebody playing 2010, 12 or 15. You cannot compare a guy who played in 2000 with 1980, 85. Era changes. But now, again, that's what media does. I would say the media is playing a big role, or social media you talk about. Like often people, they say that Saurav Ganguly taught India how to win. Right? I played under Saurav Ganguly. We had some really good times, fantastic times. Every team will do something differently. Every team will make some good or bad records. It's not like this Indian team doesn't lose. Yeah, they have done so well in Australia. Before nobody won in Australia. But the same team have lost in New Zealand, England and South Africa. But earlier I have seen teams, they are drawing the series in South Africa. In 2007, I remember Rahul Dravid was captain. We won 1-0. And 2003-4 Sydney Test match, 1 or 2 things didn't go India's way. Otherwise, India would have won.
Should have won.
Final we played. Right, NetWest India won 2000 ICC Champions Trophy. India played final, lost against New Zealand in Nairobi. Yeah. So now this team won a series in Australia and in one-day series in New Zealand, South Africa. So every team will do something different. And when you talk about captains, earlier also somebody asked me, who is the better captain, Saurav Ganguly or MS Dhoni, or Virat Kohli or MS Dhoni? I said, but they were captains earlier also. Are the MS Dhoni and Saurav Ganguly the best ever Indian captain? But how I can say that, because I don't know how Vishen Singh Bedi or Venkat Raghavan or Kapil Dev, Sunil Gavaskar were as captain. Because I don't know, I never played under them. If you're only going with the results, then Kapil Paji is the best because he won 1983, or MS Dhoni is the best, he won the World Cup. When you talk about Test cricket, Australia 2-1, Virat Kohli's team won and Ajit Wadekar's team won in England. And there are so many other incidents also. So it's very unfair to compare eras. And when people they talk about numbers, see, numbers will always change. Like today, as we discussed, an Indian team when it comes to ICC Test ranking is number 3. But I don't see that will be like if India doesn't play Test cricket for let's say another 6 months, and the team Australia is number one, and if I'm not wrong, second is England I think. If let's say they play 5 test matches among themselves, one will, and let's say England won 4-0 or 5-0 or Australia win, so they will be gone way ahead when it comes to ICC point ranking. It doesn't mean they're better than India. India is not playing. So all these 3 teams are neck to neck. And sometimes you see these kind of things also. West Indies has beaten England at home. So it's right now, it's unfair to compare this Indian team, the Indian team 2010-5 or 2005-10, 1990. Earlier, they were also good players. And game is moving forward. Every day there are new things coming. So many, like now people are Indian team, you talk about people are playing pace better because they are side arms and they like to play pace 140, 145, people are playing easy. Maybe with whatever limited cricket, I understand maybe according to me people used to play swing and spin better. I've never seen somebody playing spin like Mohammad Azharuddin. Even a rank turner. So with no disrespect to Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma or Ajinkya Rahane, we all know what they do. But I still feel that Mohammad Azharuddin used to play spin better. Or even people in world cricket. Right now, when it turns and it swings, people are finding difficulty. But if somebody bowls a good bouncer at 145, you will still see people pulling. A good bouncer is a good bouncer. But some people, now this generation, liking the pace more. Last 2 years. So it's very difficult to compare. You only cannot go on numbers. And especially white ball, for me, numbers is big no. Because if you look at over a period of time, somebody like Saurav Ganguly or Sachin Tendulkar will have an average of 40, 45, or Brian Lara will have an average of 45. Now you see people's average is 55, 60. But don't forget, now people are scoring 350 runs because there are 2 new balls. There are 5 people inside the circle. So you cannot compare white ball. See, when you talk about test cricket, still they are not big margins. See, even somebody like Virat Kohli has an average of, if I'm not wrong, 54, 55, anything between 50 to 55. So earlier, Sachin Tendulkar or Rahul Dravid, Jack Kallis, like sometimes people don't mention that name. Jack Kallis, Ricky Ponting, they all have averages of 50 to 55. Viv Richards playing 100, 150, 160 test matches. So, but test cricket is not like somebody, apart from, again, see, I have not seen him. I'm sure you have also not seen him, Sir Donald Bradman. We don't know. He's the only one who has that kind of average, so we don't know how he used to bat. But apart from that, if you talk about after 1975 or 1980, last 40, 45 years, good players, great players, their average is like, like that 50 to 55. Sir Gary Sobers has an average of 57 in 97 test matches. But if somebody asks me how good was Gary Sobers, I don't know. How good was he? Only Vishensi Bedi can tell me. Right? So it's very difficult to compare eras. I know media likes to do that. Sometimes I hear these comments also. When it's not earlier, also it was like if Brian Lara plays 2 good innings, they will say greatest of all time. Some media will say. Sachin Tendulkar will play 4, 5 good innings or 5, 6 great months, which was always the case for good 15, 16 years after 93, 94 for sure. So he was, now people say, oh, Virat Kohli is a GOAT. So, or Rohit Sharma when it comes to one day. So these things will be changed. Now, if 10 years down the line, you will see the same people are writing, somebody else will be scoring runs. And especially in white ball, you do like, okay, 6 fielders inside the circle because we want to see consistently 400. Then somebody will be roaming around with an average of 70. But it doesn't mean he will be better than Virat Kohli. So white ball cricket, you cannot compare because rules have changed massively. Earlier I remember even playing SD test ball at home, one day game starting at 9:30. If you score 230, 240, you will win. Mindset was different, and that's not only with cricket, Vijay, that's with any sport or anything in life. It's moving forward kind of a thing. See, it's very difficult to answer. Because it depends what kind of facilities you have. Right? See, one thing to engage yourself, now people are engaging, I'm sure, on social media. But see, for a budding cricketer, when you are like 12, 13, 14 and you are playing cricket and suddenly this happens, you should definitely keep watching old matches. Just keep your mind always there. You should not feel that you're completely out of the game. And again, everyone has different setup, different kind of space. Like I have a gated complex, so if I want to play with my son, if he wants to bat with tennis ball, I have some space. But there are some people in Bombay, they don't have it. So whatever little they could do, they are doing. I'm sure some people have more space. They are not doing it. Some people are hanging balls and they are driving in their apartment. Right, so those kind of things you should definitely do it. If there's a bowler, you keep doing your action, and I mean that is not only for under 14, 16 or 19. I would say even an international player. There's so many batsmen, they like to be in front of the camera, bring their bat and gloves which they are going to use in a test match tomorrow. They bring it to their hotel room and they are right in front of the camera. They keep doing it. So those are the things. I mean, even these youngsters, they should definitely follow, because this can be like this for another few months. But we all are hoping it's going to go as soon as possible. I mean, everybody's trying.